A thief is about to steal, or die trying. Outside the victim's window, a gentle rain shower begins to fall. It seems the roof has sprung a leak. False alarm. But the sword is gone. The novice has passed the test and joins an invisible army, warriors of the night. Central Japan. The year is 1562. The warlord of this castle has taken hostage the wife and son of a rival, Tokugawa Ieyasu. To get them back, Ieyasu needs hostages of his own. The castle's defenders suspect an attack, but feel secure. Ieyasu looks to the key that will unlock the gates, the ninja. In Ieyasu's day, hundreds of warlords and thousands of samurai fight for power in Japan. For 4 centuries, they have been locked in warfare. Another kind of warrior stalks Japan. The ninja. Cunning, courageous, and cutthroat. A coded message has been left in the forest. A warlord called Ieyasu is willing to pay for the skills of a ninja. The ninja replies, "I will come." Ninjutsu, the art of the ninja, has thrived in Japan for centuries. Developed from the teachings of Chinese strategists like the great Sun Tzu, it found eager students among Buddhist monks in Japan. To protect their temples, legend has it that the gentle monks taught others to do their fighting. Simple peasants became their protectors. Soon the protectors became warriors for hire. In the neighboring provinces of Iga and Koga, ninjutsu took root. Mountain peaks and valley walls hid farmers by day, ninja by night. In these hills and forests, in small bands or alone, the ninja thrived. Word of their talents has traveled far beyond their sanctuary and reached men like Lord Ieyasu. The ninja he has summoned are about to be put to the test. The skills that Ieyasu requires are sold for money, but they were first paid for in years of sweat and pain. From a skilled master, a son or daughter learns the secrets of the ninja. Weapons of attack, tools of siege. These secrets are a rich brew, eagerly drunk drop by drop. Such treasures are handled like jewels. Lose them and die. One ninja from Koga wrote to his master,
"These writings on ninjutsu entrusted to me by you will never be shown to others. If by any chance I should disobey, then I must receive the punishment of heaven."
Lessons are grueling. Every move is rehearsed precisely and endlessly. All performed as silently as possible. Is the victim really asleep? Or only pretending, luring the ninja into a trap? This time it's only a game. One day, a matter of life or death. As the young ninja grows, her lessons become more deadly. The shaken, the throwing star, tiny but deadly. To master cold steel, she practices with a wooden pike. The sword itself would forgive no mistake. Nature herself becomes an accomplice. Which creatures cause panic when flung at an enemy? How a box of crickets can camouflage sounds? Which plants to use to treat a wound? The novice's first assignment? Assassination, using 3 principles of ninjutsu. First, the principle of heaven. Time the attack with care. Months go by before the moment to strike arrives. Second, the principle of earth. Find the enemy's weak spot. The warlord visits his garden each morning to smell the flowers. Last, the principle of mankind. Manipulating how men behave. The next day, when the Lord bends to sniff the blossoms, he collapses. and dies. Mixed with the pollen is poison dust. Lord Iyasu's call for help is answered by the ninja. Somewhere a warlord holds Iyasu's wife and son captive. To get them back, Iyasu will seize the warlord's sons. The enemy's castle is too strong to attack. The ninja must slip inside and slip out undetected. If caught, a ninja must safeguard his secrets by taking his own life. A ninja's life depends on secrecy. If the disguise of a farmer or laborer won't do, a ninja chooses that of a priest, a minstrel, a merchant, or a wife. The ninja dresses in brown or black and blends into the darkness. Beneath, she may wear a layer of light armor. The cloth that hides her face has a more vital use. Impregnated with antiseptic, it can become a bandage. Following the principles of warfare, the ninja set out to find the warlord's weak spot. His walls are scaled. His corridors explored, unseen, unheard. His intruders leave as quietly as they came. They have gotten what they came for, and lay their plan. Their weapons are as silent as the ninja. The sword is the strongest of its day. The blade is the sharpest ever known. Oiled and polished till it glistens, it is a testament to the skill of two craftsmen, the swordsmith and the assassin. In the hands of a master, it can kill with one blow. Other tools of their trade are pulled from hiding. daggers, knives, grappling irons, iron knuckles, claws. The guards are wary yet unaware as the ninja once more cross the moat. Again, they are unheard, unseen. No one speaks. In stark contrast to the samurai, who proudly shouts his name when he wades into battle, the ninja works in silence. They breach the inner courtyard, still undetected. Mysteriously, a fire breaks out. The garrison is alarmed and distracted. In the confusion, the ninja strike. They stun their victims with poisoned powder and spirit them away. Where the ninja had been, there is darkness. By dawn, the castle is ablaze. And Lord Ieyasu has his hostages to trade. The ninja have saved his family. One day, they will save his life. Late in the 16th century, Japan is still racked by civil war. In 1581, the province of Iga, sanctuary of the ninja, is attacked from all sides. The land is devastated, the people slaughtered, including many of the ninja. The survivors escape to join their old employer, Ieyasu. Lord Ieyasu himself is overwhelmed and must flee, guarded by the ninja. They bundle him aboard a ship and hide him among the cargo. His pursuers search for him with their swords. One blade pierces his thigh, but he makes no sound. As it's withdrawn, he wipes it clean of his blood. The ship sails, and Ieyasu is free. Ieyasu rewards the ninja well by taking 300 into his service. A wise move. Those employed by him will not be used against him. To deter the ninja who work for his enemies, Ieyasu crafts defenses, hidden doors, false stairs, and the nightingale floorboard, which sings at the slightest step. The warriors of the night serve Ieyasu well. So well that within a decade, all of Japan comes under his rule. In 1590, he and his family formed the Tokugawa shogunate, or dictatorship, in Edo, a tiny town later called Tokyo. The nation of Japan is born. For 250 years, the Tokugawa reigned in relative peace. They no longer required the services of the ninja. Some founded schools of ninjutsu and taught the martial arts. Some became bodyguards. A few became bandits. The masters of invisible warfare disappeared, slowly absorbed into time and legend, and the night.
Question. What is a ninja?
I heard they didn't really exist.
A kind of samurai warrior? A type of a motorcycle?
All wrong, but they'd be very pleased to hear that. They were intensely secretive. They relied on fear and rumor about their methods and techniques. But they did exist. Maybe they still do. We're going to show you some of the vast range of their weapons and teach you how to use them. And for your final challenge, you will make a ninja raid. Now, you all have martial arts experience, so you won't be surprised to hear that the first level of training is always spiritual. So, I suggest you use meditation and concentration to prepare yourselves for what is about to happen to you. The origins of the ninja are disputed, being variously placed between 500 BC and the 6th century AD. Much of their knowledge may be traced to Chinese expatriates, warriors, scholars, and monks who took refuge in Japan, bringing with them the skills of China, India, and Tibet. The cultural ancestors of the ninja lived as warrior mystics in the mountains of south-central Japan, far from the increasingly structured and controlled society of the capital cities. So the ninja developed as a secret, illegal counterculture to the ruling samurai elite. Hence the deliberate concealment of their origins and the extreme secrecy of their techniques. Ninjas live in a world of lies, subterfuge, and illusion. So it's essential that they have their own concept of reality. This requires great philosophical and spiritual strength and an understanding of practical psychology, which helps with the mastery of certain techniques, including hypnosis, mind control, the ability to slow the heartbeat, and to keep still for hours on end.
Now, these were warrior philosophers, and what may seem mystical to us was to them entirely practical.
And you can't get much more practical than this. The next level of training is more physical. For this, our team members have come to a dojo, a training room.
Thank you, Mark. Team, we brought you here to work with Mark Grove, an expert in ninjutsu, the ninja fighting art. He'll be teaching you how to use various weapons, starting with your own bodies.
I hope you guys are ready for this.
Mark teaches our team some basic skills of taijutsu, or ninja unarmed combat. These are similar to those of many martial arts. They include postures for defense and attack, rolling, leaping and tumbling, striking and kicking, grappling and choking.
Now what you see is there's a lift here. Let me bring you forward. If I punch forward and I hit you like this, you see how it jolts my shoulder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to act like I'm drawing a gun from my hip and I come underneath. You see this? So I scoot myself down and I drive it upward. Okay? So rather than stepping forward down a line, easy for you to block, okay? I come here and I come up this way, okay? This hand is going to be here for defense. Pretty simple?
For many martial artists, unarmed combat is what it's all about. For the ninja, it was just a means to an end. They had to be super fit and ready for combat in any situation, with or without weapons. This is just the start. We'll be returning to work with Mark later. Right, let's look at clothing. Now, the ninja had no uniform, and you're already wearing the basic black clothes that would be suitable for most operations, including those split-toe boots there, very good for climbing and for silent movement. On your hands, you'd wear these strange half gloves. Now, these were designed to hide the intentions of the wearer while not obstructing his grip. On the head, some kind of mask. And finally, a hood. Right, here are some of your basic weapons. The next level of training is Ninja Ken, with this short sword.
I thought the samurai had longer swords.
Right, let's get this straight. The ninja is everything the samurai is not. The samurai was expected to fight openly, according to the strict rules of honor and behavior of his high social class. He would never do anything disreputable, and he despised those who did. He also expected absolute obedience, which the ninja never gave him. Let's just look at the difference in weapons. Samurai weapons are beautifully made, elegant, sacred, reflecting the spirit of the samurai himself. Ninja weapons are just tools. They're entirely practical, often hidden or disguised. They serve multiple purposes for escape, survival, or for killing. They are undecorated, cheaply made, and had no spiritual significance whatever. The ninja sword had a short, straight blade, single-edged, with a razor-sharp point. Fighting with this weapon was at close quarters and at lightning speed. Ninja weapons required many of the same techniques as the unarmed combat, now applied to the blade. The power for each stroke does not come from the arms or wrists alone, but from the whole body, slamming through the opponent, not just striking at him. This is not fencing. Each move is designed as a totally committed killer blow. If they are incorrectly executed or skillfully avoided, they can result in the ninja being exposed to a fatal counterattack. The ninja relied on the surprise hit. Hard, fast, and final. Another skill was yaijutsu, the fast draw technique. Now, in a violent society, a fight could break out at a moment's notice. Now, the fast draw and immediate strike technique was also practiced by the samurai. But the ninja had an advantage with their shorter sword, which could also be drawn from a concealed position. Here. Now, the sword was actually kept in a scabbard called a sageo. Dan, would you draw your sword and come on guard against me, please? The sageo is designed so that it can hold blinding powders, even explosives.
Yeah, you caught me by surprise.
There is no such thing as surprise for the ninja. Remember, these are practical tools. The scabbard also has this cord, which can be used to bind your enemies or as a tripwire. The sword itself can be used to pry open doors and windows. And this part, The tsuba can also be used as a step to help you climb. And when you're finished, you use the cord to pull the sword up after you. Most ninja weapons are multi-purpose. The next level of training is bojutsu. Some of our team already have some knowledge of staff fighting. The bow is a long staff of about 6 feet. The hanbo is a half staff or cane of 3 feet. Staves were carried by civilians as walking sticks, but in the hands of the ninja, they could be deadly weapons. Staves and clubs are very useful for the ninja because they can be hollowed out to conceal arrows, hooks, chains, poisons, and knives. This one is a hollowed out piece of bamboo. This can be used as a breathing aid for hiding or swimming underwater. And here is a rather nice flute, except inside the flute there is a dart. And of course, with the flute you're going to need a sheet of music. So you place the dart inside the sheet and you roll it up tight. Place the paper inside the flute, which closes the holes. Place the dart inside and you have a blowgun. Fighting with stick and staff is the basis of the technique for fighting with a whole range of bladed polearms. All right, guys, gather round. You've learned some basic weapons and techniques, but what do you use them for? The tasks of the ninja, who can be male or female, divide into 3. 1. Espionage. Infiltration, gathering intelligence. 2. Covert operations. Sabotage, subversion, arson, assassination. 3. Combat, either direct or ambush. But the emphasis is not on combat. It's on survival and success, using any means. Tactically, poison is better than combat. Assassination is better than confrontation. Just get the job done. Up to now, you've been using the standard weaponry, but the ninjas also had some extraordinary weapons which were unique to their own kind. Coming up, our team learns that some crazy-looking weapons can have some powerful results. Our team is learning some of the whole range of specialist weapons which gave the ninja their fearsome reputation. Perhaps the most famous of these is the shuriken, the throwing star. Shuriken means blade behind the hand, and it can refer to any thrown blade. But the best known are these throwing stars. They come in many different shapes and sizes. They can be concealed in pouches all over the body. Now, these are diversionary weapons. Whatever you see in the movies, these are very unlikely to be fatal. You throw them at a pursuing enemy to slow him down, or you throw them directly before your main attack with your primary weapon. Now, there are many ways of throwing. There's the underhand way. Now, this is easy to conceal, but it's a weak throw. There's the sideways throw. It's best for tracking moving targets. Throw like a frisbee. Then you have the overhand throw, much more powerful. And finally, the reverse throw, which, if you can get it right, it's the most difficult throw, certainly the strongest. Now, there are also throwing spikes. Now, these can also be concealed anywhere around the body, and they can be thrown in pairs. That way, at least one of them is likely to hit and stick. You can also place a throwing spike inside the hilt of your sword so that you can throw it directly before engaging the enemy.
If I saw one of these coming at me in the heat of battle, I'd have to drop what I was doing and cover myself. I can see why they're so effective.
Throwing shurikens remind me of throwing knives or daggers, except there's no bulky handle to get in the way.
The kama was originally an agricultural implement, but in skilled hands it can be a fearsome and versatile weapon. This is the kusari fundo, a chain weighted at both ends. It's simple, easy to conceal, and in the hands of an expert, almost invisible in action. And this is the two weapons combined, a sickle with a chain attached, the kusari gama. Now, this is an unusual weapon, and many opponents
would have no idea what this thing is capable of.
The team is having trouble working out how to use these weapons, and no wonder. Ninja were usually born into their profession. Their techniques were handed down from father to son, and were considered so secret that no capture was acceptable. Rather than surrender and reveal their secrets, wounded ninja committed suicide or were killed by their own colleagues.
I used the chain, and it's like it's alive. It just kept hitting me. Kept getting it tied up into my arms. Very difficult weapon to master.
I used the short rope. I found it to be really difficult to actually tie people up under pressure, be able to disarm them.
I had a lot of problems with the kama. It's a very awkward weapon to me. It's working in two different directions at the same time.
The kama and chain weapon's very awkward. I've never used one before. I found it very difficult. Very difficult. A lot of fun, but very difficult. I think if you get to master it, it'll be very, very effective.
So we've looked at just a few of the weapons available, but there were many other areas of training involving poisons, explosives, fire, mirrors, horse riding, swimming. Because they were so often used as spies, they learned disguise and impersonation, strategy, geography, even meteorology. They would infiltrate, make an informed assessment, and then return to advise their client of how best to attack the enemy, in what area, with what force, even in what conditions of weather. Now, there's no way you're going to learn all that, but there are two things that you must learn: climbing and walking.
Walking?
Ninja have special methods of physical movement. Some allowed rapid travel across the ridge of a roof. Some were used for stealthy and swift attack. Some when absolute silence was essential.
Now, there was a whole level of training devoted to methods of entry, concealment, and escape. Climbing was essential. They had many tools to help them do it, including this grappling hook, often improvised out of 3 or 4 kamas bound together. So, gentlemen, I want you to climb this tree and disappear.
The nin of ninja is a Japanese word meaning endurance and perseverance. It also means stealth and concealment. The ideogram is composed of the 2 ideograms for blood and heart. The techniques of the ninja, called ninjutsu, were extremely varied. Even the ability to hide and to keep absolutely still requires constant training, both mental and physical. Coming up, the team has been taught the tools of the trade. Now it's time to use them. It's time for the team to put its new skills into action.
All right, guys, you're as ready as you're ever going to be. This is the plan of a compound. Inside the compound, there is a house and a pool. In that house, right here, there is a room. On the table in that room is a book. I want you to get me that book. Now, we have surrounded the whole place with guards. If they spot you, you'll have to fight them. Just get me that book. Choose your weapons, prepare yourselves.
Despite their aura of mysticism and reputation for existing on a separate plane, ninja were available to the highest bidder. They gained their notoriety as special forces mercenaries during the 15th century, when Japan was divided between feuding warlords. When peace was finally restored, ninjas were hired as bodyguards, assassins, even secret police. This kind of job would be their bread and butter. This is the compound our team must infiltrate. Guards patrol all sides of the building, so the team must use cunning and stealth to gain entry. Our team members gather on a nearby hilltop and devise a plan for breaking into the compound. Phil sneaks onto the roof. His target, the guard watching the side entrance. Dan creeps in through the backyard and carefully makes his way around the swimming pool. He'll attack a guard with his blowgun, but he wants a closer shot. Meanwhile, Lee keeps watch on the front of the house. Dan uses his blowgun as an underwater breathing tube, moving in for a better shot. He prepares a poison dart and fires, taking his man down. Phil also gets ready to attack. The guard draws a knife, but Phil turns the tables and kills the guard with his own weapon. All clear at the side entrance. Phil signals Chris to enter the compound. Chris immediately finds what he's looking for. There's the book on the table. Meanwhile, Dan approaches the rear entrance and sees a guard heading straight for Chris. Chris uses a chokehold, snaps the guard's neck, and heads out with the book. Out front, Lee wonders what's taking so long and heads for the front door. Chris exits with the book, but sees two approaching guards and flees. Phil tosses a shuriken and gets ready for battle. Phil kills one guard, but the other one slices through his chest. Our first team member is down. Dan sees someone approaching. It's Chris, and they run off around the house. Lee doesn't see his teammates anywhere and starts to get worried, just as Dan and Chris arrive with the book. But they're soon followed by a pursuing guard. Two more guards appear. Chris takes the first one. Dan fights the second. Chris uses his karma and slices his opponent. Lee avoids a swipe to the head, but takes a fatal blow to the gut. Dan attacks with a vengeance. The last guard goes down, and Chris and Dan disappear into the darkness.
Well done, team. And what does the book reveal? The way of the ninja is the way of enduring, surviving, winning. The ninja needs complete mastery of his skills, the ability to react effectively in any situation, and the absolute will to win at all costs. This is what our team has found out, as we have learned how to win with the weapons of the ninja.
A coded message has been left in the forest. A warlord called Ieyasu is willing to pay for the skills of a ninja. The ninja replies, "I will come." Ninjutsu, the art of the ninja, has thrived in Japan for centuries. Developed from the teachings of Chinese strategists like the great Sun Tzu, it found eager students among Buddhist monks in Japan. To protect their temple, a thief is about to steal or die trying. Outside the victim's window, a gentle rain shower begins to fall. Central Japan. The year is 1562. The warlord of this castle has taken hostage the wife and son of a rival, Tokugawa Ieyasu. To get them back, Ieyasu needs hostages of his own. The castle's defenders suspect an attack, but feel secure. Ieyasu looks to the key that will unlock the gates, the ninja. In Ieyasu's day, hundreds of warlords and thousands of samurai fight for power in Japan. For 4 centuries, they have been locked in warfare. Another kind of warrior stalks Japan. The ninja. Cunning, courageous, and cutthroat. It seems the roof has sprung a leak. False alarm. But the sword is gone. The novice has passed the test and joins an invisible army, warriors of the night.